In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on October 27, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Toronto Raptors versus Chicago Bulls. In the second game of the season, the Toronto Raptors hit the road to face the Chicago Bulls on Friday, October 27th. Both Toronto and Chicago had underwhelming performances in their respective season openers. The Raptors struggled against the Minnesota Timberwolves, facing shooting woes and turnovers. Nonetheless, their offense clicked in the final stretch to secure a late win. In contrast, the Bulls fell short against the Oklahoma City Thunder, who convincingly defeated them. The Toronto Raptors are vying for a second consecutive victory after narrowly edging past the Minnesota Timberwolves with a 97-94 home win on Wednesday. Dennis Schroeder was instrumental, leading the team with 22 points and 7 assists. Og Anunoby contributed 20 points, along with 6 rebounds and 3 blocks, while Scotty Barnes recorded an impressive performance with 17 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 blocks. As a team, the Raptors shot 40% from the field and connected on 14 of 35 three-point attempts. Although they squandered a 10-point lead in the third quarter, they regained their composure by limiting the Timberwolves to just 20 points in the final quarter, clinching a hard-fought win. On the other hand, the Chicago Bulls are determined to bounce back in this contest after suffering a humbling 124-104 loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder on Wednesday. DeMar DeRozan led the team with 20 points, while Zach LaVine added 16 points, and Kobe White chipped in with 15 points. Collectively, the Bulls shot only 41% from the field, and their three-point shooting was equally underwhelming, making just 12 of 42 attempts. They made a strong start with 35 points in the first quarter, but failed to maintain their momentum and allowed the Thunder to shoot over 54% from the field for the entire game. Both LaVine and White had forgettable nights, shooting poorly from the field. The Bulls are poised to make a significant statement in their second game of the season, with a focus on dominating in the post to secure victory against Toronto. Chicago acknowledges the need for a much improved performance following their opening game, and a team meeting has likely fostered better cohesion. The Bulls possess considerable scoring potential and were among the top 10 teams in defensive statistics in the 2022-2023 season, ranking highly in points allowed and opponent shooting percentage. Assuming the Bulls can establish their presence in the paint, they should experience much more success from beyond the arc compared to their first game. With numerous talented players in their ranks, it is unlikely that they will shoot below 30% from long range. While the Toronto Raptors may appear to be the superior team on paper and are offered a free bucket, the Chicago Bulls have the advantage in recent matchups, winning 7 of the last 10 encounters. The Bulls are an experienced team and understand the importance of avoiding early season setbacks. The players-only meeting is expected to invigorate the Bulls on Friday night, and there is little chance of them delivering such a lackluster performance in consecutive games. Furthermore, this marks the first road game of the season for Toronto, and they did not particularly impress in their victory against Minnesota. The Bulls will be eager to prove that they are more than just the team that endured a blowout loss on Wednesday. Expect DeRozan and LaVine to lead the charge for the Bulls on Friday. Rumors and speculation tend to swirl when teams struggle, so the Bulls will be motivated to secure a win in this contest. So the Chicago Bulls to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Chicago is already fired up after a disappointing performance in their opener against Oklahoma City and is determined to showcase their prowess in the Eastern Conference with a stronger shooting display on Friday. With mid-range specialist DeRozan and versatile scorer LaVine leading the charge, the Bulls are poised for a strong showing in their second game of the season. The Raptors displayed their potential in the season opener, securing a hard-fought win against a quality Minnesota team at home. Although they may fall short on the scoreboard on the road on Friday, the positive aspects of their Wednesday performance are likely to carry over to Chicago in their second game of the season. As such, we predict that the Raptors and Bulls will combine for more than 218 points in their matchup on Friday night at the United Center. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Houston Rockets versus San Antonio Spurs, in a matchup between two teams that struggled in the Western Conference last year. Both the Houston Rockets and the San Antonio Spurs are eager to set a different tone for the 2023 to 2024 season. The Rockets are on the road, while the Spurs have a chance to redeem themselves at their newly named home court, the Frost Bank Center. Last season, these two teams split their 4 meetings. How will this early season clash unfold? The Houston Rockets appear to have carried some of last season's struggles into this year, as they're coming off a disappointing 116-86 road loss to the Magic. In that game, Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks, and Alperen Sengun each contributed 14 points, while Jalen Green added 10, but no other player managed more than 8 points. As a team, the Rockets shot just 40% from the field and made 12 of 34 attempts from beyond the three-point line. They struggled right from the start, scoring only 20 points in the first quarter and mustering just 17 in the final quarter, resulting in a lopsided defeat. On the other hand, the San Antonio Spurs have reason for optimism despite a 126-119 loss to the Mavericks in their season opener. Devin Vassell led the way with 23 points on 9 of 17 shooting, and Keldon Johnson contributed 17 points to go along with 9 rebounds and 7 assists. Tyus Jones chipped in with 16 points and 6 assists coming off the bench. As a team, the Spurs shot 51% from the field and connected on 11 of 35 three-point attempts. They surged to a 43-point first quarter, taking an early lead but faltered in the fourth quarter, allowing the Mavericks to escape. Victor Wembanyama had a mixed performance, finishing with 15 points on 6 of 9 shooting, despite battling foul trouble throughout the game. Defensively, both teams struggled in their respective season openers. Neither side held a significant advantage on that end of the court. Offensively, the Spurs exhibited better form, especially with their effective 70.5% shooting at the rim. In contrast, the Rockets allowed the Magic to convert an impressive 73.5% of their rim attempts. While Houston should be capable of scoring more than the paltry 86 points they managed in their opening game, it's clear that their offensive chemistry is a work in progress. The Rockets' offensive struggles were evident in their season opener, characterized by a near 1-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. Despite both teams experiencing turnovers, the Spurs demonstrated their offensive potency, particularly early on in the game against the Mavericks. The Rockets appeared to fatigue or lose hope quickly after being unable to keep up with the Magic in the third quarter, resulting in a mere 17 fourth-quarter points, which was far from sufficient. Additionally, the Spurs are poised to dominate in the low post, taking advantage of Houston's subpar rebounding and generating second-chance opportunities. While the Rockets have a young and talented roster, their ongoing issues with closing out games and the lackluster effort they showed in the Magic game are causes for concern. The Spurs, on the other hand, had an encouraging performance in the preseason and came close to defeating the Mavericks in their season opener, a game they might have won if Victor Wembanyama hadn't encountered foul trouble. The Spurs are playing at home, and their spirited performance in the season opener will likely give them the motivation to secure their first win of the season. The energetic atmosphere in San Antonio played a significant role in their competitive display in the first game, despite facing a more formidable opponent on paper. Anticipate the Spurs securing their first victory with strong support from their home crowd. With an abundance of easy scoring opportunities for the Spurs to keep the crowd engaged, San Antonio is poised to triumph on their home court. The Spurs will once again enjoy a packed house, so the San Antonio Spurs to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Houston's offensive strategy thrives on a faster pace, and we anticipate them pushing the tempo more than they did in their opening game. The Spurs push the Mavericks, who are typically a slower team, leading to 105 total possessions. While the Spurs struggled to stop their opponents, allowing 19 transition points, the Rockets defended fast breaks effectively. However, they were overpowered in the paint, where the Spurs clearly hold an advantage, setting the stage for high-percentage shots. Additionally, if the Spurs fail to defend the perimeter effectively, the Rockets will capitalize by taking more shots from beyond the arc. Based on their meeting from the prior season and their season opener's performance, it's evident that neither team has made substantial defensive improvements. Offensively, the Spurs appear to have a potent lineup that could pose challenges for their opponents. They recorded 33 assists, shot 51.7% from the field, and made 22 free throws. While the Rockets fell short of that standard, it will be challenging for them to score fewer than the 86 points they managed in the season opener, especially when facing a defense that allowed 126 points and is still finding its footing. Considering that each team's offensive strength exploits their opponent's defensive weaknesses and the expected fast pace of play, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Brooklyn Nets versus Dallas Mavericks. The NBA action continues in the first week of the season with the Brooklyn Nets hitting the road to face off against the Dallas Mavericks. Both teams kicked off their season on Wednesday, with the Nets narrowly losing their home opener to the Cleveland Cavaliers, falling 114-113. But covering the spread as 2-point underdogs. The Mavericks spoiled the debut of young talent Wembanyama, securing a 126-119 victory on the road against the San Antonio Spurs as 4.5-point favorites. It's worth noting that Dallas swept the two-game season series against Brooklyn last season. The Brooklyn Nets will be eager to bounce back after a heart-wrenching 114-113 home loss to the Cavaliers on Wednesday. In that game, Cam Thomas was the standout performer with 36 points on 3 of 2-1 shooting coming off the bench. Mikal Bridges contributed 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists, while Cam Johnson added 12 points. As a team, the Nets shot 50% from the field and converted 9 of 27 three-point attempts. The game went back and forth against the Cavaliers until Donovan Mitchell's game-winning shot with just 12.1 seconds remaining. Ben Simmons had a mixed performance, recording 4 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists, while Spencer Dinwiddie struggled, managing just 5 points in 24 minutes of play. On the other side, the Dallas Mavericks will aim for a second consecutive victory after prevailing in a hard-fought 126-119 road win over the Spurs on Wednesday. Luka Doncic put on a stellar performance with a triple-double, amassing 33 points, 13 rebounds, and 10 assists. Kyrie Irving added 22 points and 6 assists, while Grant Williams and Tim Hardaway Jr. chipped in with 17 points each. As a team, the Mavericks shot 47% from the field and made 15 of 47 three-point attempts. Despite a slow start that saw them trailing early, the Mavericks regrouped and secured the narrow victory. In terms of team dynamics, Dallas appears to have a more defined identity early in the season, with an array of offensive weapons. The Mavericks boast a formidable backcourt featuring Doncic and Irving, who are capable of consistently contributing at least 40 points per night. Both guards excel at penetrating defenses and creating opportunities, and the Mavericks have surrounded them with sharpshooters, including Williams, Kleber, Hardaway Jr., and Green, who all made multiple three-pointers in the opener. This creates enhanced spacing and synergy within their offensive game plan. In contrast, the Nets lack a clear identity at this stage. They cannot rely solely on Cam Thomas to produce 36 points every night. It remains uncertain whether Ben Simmons, who no longer plays like an all-star, or Mikal Bridges can carry the team as the primary player. Additionally, Dallas exhibited solid rebounding against a taller San Antonio team in the opener, a trend they could continue in this matchup. In their previous season meetings, Dallas emerged victorious in both games, although the spread outcomes were split, with Dallas being the favorite in both contests. The Mavericks held a narrow 3-point margin of victory per game. However, it's crucial to note that Brooklyn's lineup was significantly different at that time, with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving still on the roster. Irving, who will face his former team for the first time in this matchup, may find extra motivation to excel. Meanwhile, Ben Simmons has taken on a leadership role for Brooklyn, although he has yet to demonstrate his worth in this capacity. This is unlikely to change against the formidable Mavericks. Dallas showed resilience in their matchup against the Spurs after an early deficit, and it's improbable that they will find themselves in a similar situation again. The Nets may be disappointed by their narrow loss on Wednesday, but it's important to acknowledge that without Cam Thomas's hot shooting off the bench, the game could have been a blowout loss. The Mavericks had one of the weakest defenses last season, and this vulnerability became evident in the game against the Spurs. Nevertheless, the dynamic backcourt of Doncic and Irving, along with the addition of shooting depth, proved sufficient to secure the victory. Expect a repeat performance, where the Nets may keep the game close, but Irving and Doncic should take care of business at home. So the Dallas Mavericks to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Dallas has assembled a well-balanced lineup that complements the 1-2 punch of Doncic and Irving. They are not only exceptional scorers, but are now surrounded by sharpshooters who can consistently sink three-pointers, creating driving lanes for the star guards. The Mavericks made 15 three-pointers in the opener and are likely to continue their proficiency from beyond the arc. While it's still early to draw firm conclusions regarding league-wide pace statistics, the Mavericks played at the third fastest tempo in the league in their opener. Consequently, the Nets will likely be compelled to maintain a high tempo and may employ a guard-heavy lineup to diversify their scoring options. Given these early trends, both teams surpassed the expected total in their season openers, and we anticipate a similar outcome in this matchup. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.